Can a washed-up physicist, his not-terribly-sane former colleague, and a rogue artificial intelligence crack through the barriers of time and space, solve the Fermi Paradox, and discover the true nature of the universe? Those are some of the questions posed by Adam Roberts in The Thing Itself, the book I'm reviewing on this episode of SFF180. Hello everybody, Thomas here once again. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Now, you might think of philosophy as being a vital intellectual endeavor, or you may just think of it as being fodder for late-night conversations in college dorm rooms, enhanced by a variety of chemical stimulants and the appropriate background music. But philosophy has provided a dazzling foundation for The Thing Itself, a book in which Adam Roberts quite possibly achieves peak Adam Roberts, offering such elements as helicopter chases over vast Arctic wastes and mad scientists, with the curious spectacle of a time-hopping AI having a platonic dialogue with a physicist about the existence of God. Well, if science fiction is meant to be a truly speculative fiction, one where ideas have no limits and the imagination is free, well, it takes a book like this one to make you realize just how rarely this kind of SF novel is ever written. And though The Thing Itself might not have changed my own views regarding things like metaphysics, it did give my brain some real treats to chew on, proving that a book can be, regardless of what some people seem to think, full of challenging ideas and roaring entertainment at the same time. Now, if you're not academically trained, or at least very well read in philosophy, the most you're likely to know about Immanuel Kant is that he was a real pissant who was very rarely stable. But in the Critique of Pure Reason, Kant argued that concepts like time and space were simply the human mind's way of ordering and comprehending objective reality, that these were not in fact actual features of the universe, and that a true understanding of the cosmos, of the thing in itself, was not available to us because we are simply incapable of stepping outside of our own minds to observe it. Now, yeah, naturally, Kant's premises are just way out there, and philosophers down the years have definitely spent a lot of time arguing over them endlessly, usually only pausing to re-up the party favors and change the playlist. The Thing Itself involves the development of an AI to test Kant's central thesis, which is, if a human mind is not capable of properly observing the universe, then perhaps a non-human mind can. And if time and space are simply constructs originating between our ears, then what could be achieved by a mind that is not limited by those kinds of cognitive biases? Could it traverse interstellar distances, access both the distant past and the distant future? Now, the story opens in the 80s as two British scientists, Roy and Charles, are doing SETI work at a remote Antarctic outpost. Now, Charles is pretty much a normal guy, but Roy is very moody, very introverted, and absolutely obsessed with Kant. As tensions and personality conflicts grow between the two men, something in Roy snaps, and he comes very close to murdering Charles by locking him outside of their station. Charles survives, but not unscathed, and during the worst moments, stranded outside in the cold, he experiences something. A vision and an encounter, something that he can't quite put his finger on, but which affects him profoundly all the same. Cut to the present day, and Charles's life has been in a downward spiral ever since his experience. Now in his early 50s, a long battle with alcoholism has left him working as a bin man, a trash collector, his scientific golden years long behind him. To Charles's surprise, he is contacted by an institute that we immediately know is shady because they call themselves the Institute. I mean, it's a general rule of life that no reputable, upstanding business ever simply names themselves as what they are, right? I mean, think of it. If you're driving alone late at night, you never, ever, ever stop at a motel that only says motel on the sign. Unless you want to end up being talked about in certain kinds of YouTube videos, that is. The Institute offers Charles his old life back, literally seducing him into the arrangement, and he's informed that they are developing an AI called PETA, all in the vital interests of national security. But they need Charles's help in contacting his old colleague and nemesis, Roy, who, ever since the incident in the Antarctic, has been incarcerated at Broadmoor, where he is considered exceptionally dangerous. Because whatever it was that Roy was up to in that frozen remote outpost, his work is the foundation for the Institute's goals. Now, naturally, Charles does not relish the thought of encountering Roy again after all these years and all this unfinished business between them. However, Charles has absolutely no way to anticipate exactly how urgent and desperate and crazy things are going to get after the meeting. Now, what Adam Roberts has crafted here is like some crazy, delirious love child of Douglas Adams and Philip K. Dick and Robert Ludlum. But then it gets even crazier than that. Now, the main narrative is interspersed with chapters which almost serve as standalone stories, with different narrators set in different time periods, going all the way back to the medieval past up to some unspecified future. Now, in each of these, the characters are going to have inexplicable to them experiences, like visions of some sort of hyper-reality beyond the veil. A couple of these chapters are hard to digest, but some of them are so strong that if they were published on their own, they would be award-worthy short stories, at the very least. And when Roberts ingeniously links all of them together with the main narrative as the book nears its climax, you'll realize that you have had the rare pleasure of watching one of science fiction's most gifted storytelling minds at work and at play. Now, Adam Roberts, as a writer, I was going to say he's a lot of things as a writer, but that's not true. He's the thing itself. And that is all I have time for in this episode of SFF180, everybody. Thank you, as always, so much for joining me. I very much appreciate your ongoing support of this channel. Remember, the most important thing, these are reviews. You are not always going to agree with me, but if you enjoyed watching, please hit that like button, share this video all over the place, and above all, if you have not done so, please subscribe. That is how SFF180 grows as a channel. And until I see all of you guys next time, happy reading!